Hello everyone and welcome back to our special coverage on the COVID-19 outbreak, especially regarding to Chongqing. In previous episodes, we've looked at ways that people have come together to help the city, how the medical personnel has been fighting on the front lines, and how people of different jobs and in different places have all contributed in their own way to help fighting this thing. In today's episode, we're going to look at the impressive response that Chongqing has had to maintaining a supply of food and commodities for the residents living in the city, and how the supermarkets haven't been swarmed and sort of emptied out like we've seen in previous crises in different parts of the world already.
So yeah, everything's quiet. Let's just walk up to the mall. So the supermarket is down those stairs. Let's just walk up and have a look at the mall and see how close everything is. I think even all the shops along the side, which are not even controlled by the mall directly, they're just private stores. Let's see. Everything is quiet and calm. Nothing really to see.
While the quarantine currently in place of course means that many restaurants and shops and cafes and such still cannot open and don't know exactly when they can, many of the owners of these places have recently started making use of the online facilities that allows them to conduct their sales and their business online. And now with the implementation of contactless delivery services, this means that even with the quarantine in session, everyone sort of being kept in their apartments, delivery people can still get to pick up delivery goods and deliver them to the communities of the people that are ordering them as a way of sort of keeping supermarkets and businesses and cafes alive still. Chongqing is of course relatively famous for its hot pot, and it is something that the local residents certainly cannot live without. So when all the hot pot restaurants had to remain closed during the quarantine, I bet there's a lot of local people who have been missing one of their favorite foods. But the good news is that there are about 35 hot pot restaurants in Chongqing that have now resumed working and sort of through online delivery services can now deliver hot pot to people's houses, and in some cases these shops are getting more than 100 orders per day. What is also happening is that many of these delivery companies and the phone apps where you can order them from have extended their delivery range from a few kilometers all the way up to 10 kilometers, giving more work to the delivery drivers who are actually working, but also meaning that many of these shops can reach a wider audience, which is great. To date, there are about 35 hot pot restaurants that have opened, starting providing their customers with zero-contact hot pot takeout service. The owner of a place called Qinma Hot Pot commented that they actually launched a delivery service 5 years ago, but had very few orders, maybe 5 or 6 a day. But during the epidemic, the number of daily hot pot takeout orders has surged to more than 100, which is great, both for the business in sort of helping the business stay alive, but also for the people who are just aching to have hot pot because they haven't had it for so long. But it's not only food that has been trapped in this crisis, it also means that many of the cafes and all the places that sell tea, milk tea and those sorts of drinks have also been closed down. However, it may come as a relief that many of these bigger brands at least have now also started doing these contactless delivery services. So brands such as Hego Milk Tea and Naixue Tea and Starbucks and Luckin Coffee have all started doing these contactless deliveries, which means that you can now start ordering more closely to the things that you could order before the epidemic spread out. So the variety and the assortment of stuff that you can now order online through these apps has now greatly increased. One of the many supermarkets that has remained open during the epidemic is a supermarket called Yonghui. They have their own factory that handles much of their food processing called Yonghui Taixishan. This factory processes all the food stuff like vegetable, rice, grain, flour, and oil for the supermarket, and they're using intelligent preventive measures to ensure the safety of the produce and all the goods they deliver. And the factory also relies on manual disinfection done daily, and even all the workers have to walk through this ozone disinfection machine on their way into work. So this also proves that many companies are starting to get back to work, especially logistics companies helping to move stuff around have started getting back into work as well. And this is one of the ways that Chongqing has been fortunate enough to maintain a sort of very stable supply of food and even drinks and stuff that you can order online, even through this quarantine and the epidemic. So these are only a few examples of how the Chongqing supply chain has remained relatively stable throughout the crisis, but it also goes a long way to show that if the people sort of remain calm and do everything in an orderly manner, everyone can have everything that they need. So in Chongqing, we haven't seen that same rush and surge to go to the supermarket to buy up all the goods, leaving the supermarkets with no food for other people. And currently, even though people are only still able to go out every couple of days to do shopping, the supermarkets remain fully stocked and everyone can get everything that they need, which is good. It means that everyone can sort of live out the quarantine of the virus in peace and relative comfort from home. There's still more to report on, so until next time, stay safe and stay healthy.